everyone, we're back, and today we're going to do another interview with a guy named Scott, and he used to be a firefighter, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you a firefighter?
I was with the fire department for about 8 years.
Did you enjoy that?
Oh, I did immensely. The only problem is the stress level was off the chart.
I can imagine. I mean, just living in the everyday life is stressful, and you add all that on top
Exactly.
of it. It has to be insane. So how long have you been living like this?
Actually, believe it or not, RTR is my first event with living in the car, or living out of the car, is like we like to say.
So you haven't had a lot of challenges yet?
No, I mean a few, but I'm still getting things sorted out, you know, with what works for me.
What made you decide to try this?
I wanted to do this nomadic lifestyle for a while, whether it was a vehicle or a boat or, you know, something to that effect. And I was in a comfortable position to where I could rent out my house in Colorado, and that would fund my endeavors. And so it was the time.
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
And
I heard Mick told me that you have a YouTube channel too.
I do.
Okay, tell me about that.
I started it, basically, I noticed that there was only a few channels out there covering the type of vehicle that I was in. And so I thought I'd like to share with people what I'm doing in this vehicle, just purely as a hobby and purely to share with other people.
Just like an inspiration to them.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Show them
Would you-
can.
Exactly.
would you like to share the name of it?
Yeah, the name of it is Journey to Freedom, Nomadic Life. Also, you can look up Subaru Outback camper. It's under that as well.
And that's why we're doing the interview. We find this fascinating about the rig. Would you like to tell us about your rig?
Yeah, so what this is, it's a 2005 Subaru Outback, wagon, obviously. And I've only had it a little over 2 years. I bought it in Colorado from a neighbor. And at the time when I was choosing this vehicle, it was either a Crown Victoria or the Subaru, whichever one sold first. Well, the Crown Vic sold first, so this is the car. And if you'd like, I can show you a little bit on it.
Yeah, let's concentrate first on the solar. How much solar you got on top of the roof?
I got a 100-watt energy panel here.
Okay.
I got it on sale for $190 something on Amazon, free shipping. It wasn't the kit, so it has no solar controller on it. It's a little dirty right now, but you know what? It works fine without even cleaning it. So that's what I have permanently mounted up here.
Okay, and we'll get to your power source in a little bit. You want to show us anything up here?
Yeah, so up front here is probably the most important aspect of the whole car. This is the area that Iris sleeps in. I have her little bed that I put in here, and that's where she rides also.
Iris is your...
My dog.
Oh, that's right here?
Well, she's not a little dog.
There's Iris.
That's a pretty good size dog for you
Yeah.
two to stay in the same...
She's looking now.
She's about 60 pounds.
There you go. Hi, Iris. Okay.
Anyways, and also in this compartment, what I have is I have a little bit of a chuck box that carries some kitchen stuff.
Uh-huh.
I have some tools stashed up underneath the dash, just some emergency tools and electrical, and an extra blanket. And then I keep my small little duffel bag here with my toiletries in here. I can grab some meds if I need to from in the back, so that's why I have it right here. While we're on this side, I have a tarp here instead of Reflectix. And the reason for that is one, it's not very hot. It's more for privacy, but it also doubles as my shower curtain in the back if I need it.
It's a multiple use.
Multi-purpose, yeah, absolutely. And so that's pretty much all I have right here. I keep some more kitchen stuff here, paper towels, cleaning stuff, etc. Then I just keep my garbage on the floor and some oatmeal.
So when you move, it just goes back here.
Correct, or outside, or whatever.
Okay.
I have so that's where I keep most of the stuff.
Okay.
So up here, what I have, Nick gets in there, I have my kitchen setup. And it also doubles as a heater setup. I have a Mr. Heater Buddy. If you want, I can put it on there and show you what it looks like, but everybody pretty familiar with that, I think. Well, what I do the night before is I pre-make my coffee. I put the grounds in, I put the water in, so right from my bed, I can start up the stove and start a pot of coffee. which is the most important thing, as a lot of people will agree. Some of the other things I have over on this side, just an extra blanket and stuff, but I have a lot of storage underneath here. I have bins and a clipboard, and there's more bins back underneath there, and a backpack.
I see you taking out the seats to create more room too.
Taking out the seats. And the reason for that is when the seat reclined or folded down, it was at an angle like this, and that just wasn't going to work for me.
Okay.
So that's what I did. On this, you see there's reflectix, but it's painted black.
I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, but
yeah. And then on the other side is a 1/2-inch foam. And then what I did, if you want to come over here, Mick, it's probably easier on this side. I took an old quilt or a comforter and cut it up and made little bolsters for the inside.
I find that cool.
Yeah, and it I'm sure it does help, and it adds a little color on there instead of just shininess.
Yeah, can we take a look at that? That's
Absolutely.
like part of what you're talking about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
These go in the windows. And it's basically the same as the side windows, except I added a little feature. What I did, so they're in the windows, and then what I could do is I can pull this out, and I put a screen in there.
Oh, that looks
Ventilation.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah. It's not probably the best solution, but if you just need a little ventilation, you got it.
Whatever works.
Exactly. So that's what I use, and they just camp right here. As you can see, the bed.
And you're a big guy, man. I'm standing next to you, and we're almost even.
I'm 6 foot.
It amazes me you sleep in here.
Yep, I do it just right, but yeah, I barely fit.
And just to clarify, the viewers seen the dog in the tent. That's just for the dog of a daytime. You don't sleep in the tent. You sleep
Exactly.
in the Subaru.
That's just for storage, for water, for
Right.
her day bed, things like that.
That's to unload your vehicle while you're,
correct.
so you have room to live in it.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah. Otherwise, it's very crowded in there.
I would say.
And you see that I've done the bins up here. Not the best job in the world, but
If it works, it works.
Exactly.
And
And this your
you have
fridge.
a actual fridge in here, don't you? A compressor fridge.
Exactly. I've got to do some shopping, but for right now, I just kind of pull it out like so.
And I liked how you used that space to put it out of your way for your bed.
Exactly. This is an Alpacool C15. It's a 15-liter fridge. They also advertise a C20 on Amazon. I got this for $1.99 on Amazon, free shipping. So far, it has done very well.
Now, has your power, solar and battery source kept up with it?
Absolutely. It only draws about 2 amps, and it only runs about once every 15 minutes. And it maybe runs for 5 minutes, if that.
That's the way we find ours, yes. We have a Domatic like that.
Okay. And as you can see, a Dometic would not fit in here.
Yes.
And then look inside there. I need to do some shopping, but I've got a dozen eggs in there, half a loaf of bread, which was a full loaf, mayonnaise, some
Meat.
meat, yogurts at the bottom, and I had a lot more in here before. So
Yeah. That looks,
it works.
and it looks big enough for a person, and
Yeah.
if they wanted to, it's 5 to 7 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depending on how you eat
Yeah.
and what you need to keep cool. And so I just keep it in there. And the only drawback is that the temperature is in Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Yeah, and if you don't, I don't mean to get off subject. When you're done with it, but you're satisfied with explaining, are you? I mean, you can get this off of Amazon, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
and you can get all the information on Amazon.
What kind of bedding do you use?
So this is a multi-layer, and I think it may be a little thin, but the reason for that is, as it is, when I sit up in bed, I cannot fully, without cocking my head to the side. But what I've done is this is a 1/2-inch memory foam mattress cover.
Okay.
First and foremost. Then I've taken some sort of sleeping bag or comforter and doubled it in half.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have a camper's inflatable air mattress. Then this is a wool blanket. And I put the wool blanket on top in case it got so cold that I needed an extra blanket.
And the wool holds in heat real good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I did with that, and it just all tucks underneath here. And then, of course, it's about a 40-degree bag.
Okay, and
And you want to this
Yeah.
item? Okay.
anything you find that will be interesting to people who's in.
So currently my phone is charging. You see the light flashing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Newport Vessels battery box. You can find them. I got it for about $65 on Amazon. It'll carry up to a Group 27 battery. which is a fairly sizable battery. It's going to be a pain to get inside there to show you, but it only has a 35 amp hour battery in it currently. And I've not had a problem with it supplying the power I needed. When you charge the phone, I mean, I can go through a lot of details, but you basically have to push this test light for it to charge. It has a 60 amp and a 10 amp breaker. The 60 amp is for like these are jumper posts. You could actually jump start your car battery with this.
I find a lot of people that live in small vehicles do the jumper stuff.
Yeah. And of course it has the 12 volt plug in and it has the USB. I added these. So here's my solar controller that I bolted on.
Yeah, I noticed that there when you was
yeah.
pulled it.
And then I only have like a 450 watt inverter. And so,
but in such a small space, you probably find that the 450 watts.
I have not even used it yet.
Yeah.
I use mostly 12 volt as much as I can, and my battery has not ever got below 85% so far. So that's how we do that.
And this here, does this help keep things cool up here?
That bolt, yeah, that's the bolt that I put up there, and it also has the same thing: Reflectix half-inch foam and this.
And it keeps it insulated probably when you're inside and helps keep it warmer.
Yeah, and the only thing I feel when the temperatures are like at 40 or whatever, like they have been lately, if my feet are always all the way against the panel here, I feel a little cold air. Now I was thinking that what I could do with an extra blanket is I could just tuck it down here, and that would resolve that problem mostly. I have things tucked in here and there. You know, you gotta make use.
I'm impressed. I don't think I could do what you're doing.
No.
I didn't think I could either. And actually, I had Iris in that corner where the stove was initially, and it was so tight in here that I just relocated her to the front seat, and it opened it up tremendously. And then these are just clothes in the bins here, and I just have them bungeed. And it could be temporary. I could move things around, so you know that's
an impressive setup.
Yeah, I try it. And you know, as Mick knows, he's talked to me before. I used to be a truck driver, so we're used to crawling in the back in the sleepers, and you know, so that's not a problem. And then we mentioned the tarp before. What I do is I clip it on with those clips on the tent, and I clip it around in such a fashion. And then I take my sprayer, which is heating in the sun, and I set it in here, and I shower inside here.
But, yeah, let's go ahead and show that that you've painted.
So this is just a simple bug sprayer from Walmart. I think I bought it for $4.99 or $6.99. I can't remember. Very inexpensive. We spray paint it black because black absorbs heat, and it transfers the heat into the container.
Makes it like a solar heating source.
Exactly. And then all I do is every once in a while, it's been a while, I just kind of rotate it a little bit so it can get heated on the other side.
Awesome.
And that's nice and hot, and I don't know if the water's hot enough coming out yet, but it does a pretty decent job.
Okay.
And another thing I wanted to add is that if on real cool days or very limited sunshine or whatever, because this takes over half the day to heat. Right. If you need to, fill your bug sprayer with a little bit of, or you can have the solar water, and then just heat some water on a stove and pour it in there, and it'll be hot enough. And the sprayer makes a good delivery method for showering. So.
So Scott, what kind of advice would you have for someone who's thinking about trying this out but are kind of afraid to jump?
Well, like Nike says, just do it. And because for me, you could sit there for years looking at every YouTube video possible and not pull the trigger. Or you could buy all the things you think you could use and still not pull the trigger because you don't think you're prepared. Get your bare essentials, cover your cooking, cover your potty, cover your bedding, cover your clothes and some food and stuff like that, and then just go out, even if you camp for just a weekend. And you say, you know what, I don't like that, so change it. And then say, well, I wish I had this with me, then change it. But you're not going to find out until you actually immerse yourself in it.
Right.
That's very good advice.
But if you come somewhere, especially like the RTR, it's got a tremendous support system. And the various forums out there and YouTube videos and everything like that.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Now, when you came here, Were you surprised at how many people are here?
I was. I think a lot of us were because we heard last year it was about 500. And the estimates this year are like, what, 2,500 to 3,000?
Yeah, I heard there was a little over 3,000.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's like this is growing so much. And
Right.
I'm not talking about just the RTR. I'm talking about this lifestyle.
The movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can be overwhelming for a lot of people, even including me. And you guys were my neighbors, and you say, what's this guy doing over there all by himself the whole time? And I just had to take it in and just kind of, when I was ready. And that's another thing to the people out there saying, well, I don't know if I want to be around all those people. It's okay. Go off by yourself. Do your own thing until you're ready.
And we all in this lifestyle seem to be introverted and like to have our space and be alone. And then,
Absolutely.
but the RTR is a place where we meet, I think, in my opinion, like-minded people, and then that makes us easier to talk to one another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all have a story,
Yep.
different stories, but it led to the same place.
Exactly.
And that's what we have in common.
Yep. Absolutely.
It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, nice talking to you
and
too.
Thank you for the tour and the chat.
You're welcome, and thank you for being my neighbors.
And if you want to, go ahead and repeat your YouTube channel.
YouTube channel is Journey to Freedom Nomadic Life. And I paused because there's a little dash in there, but I'm sure it'll come up.
All right. And we thank you again.
Sure, you're welcome. Thank you.